Mi nombre es Verónica Ampudia y trabajo como distribuidor de una empresa japonesa que se llama Nikken. Yo trabajé 20 años para diferentes corporativos, estudié administración de empresas con una especialidad en finanzas. Y trabajé, después me casé, después tuve 3 hijos, Patricio que tiene 17, Verónica que tiene casi 14 y Jerónimo que tiene 11. Y nunca dejé de trabajar, siempre lograba negociar, trabajar en la oficina en la mañana y desde donde estuviera yo en la tarde, desde mi casa, desde el karate, desde la natación. Pero cuando ellos se dormían yo me seguía trabajando en la computadora hasta muy tarde. Esto a través de los años se vuelve muy cansado y finalmente decidí cambiar la forma en la que estaba viviendo. Me propusieron este negocio, el cual yo no veía como negocio, no creía ni en la forma de hacer el negocio, ni mucho menos en los productos. Yo soy una persona muy analítica y muy escéptica, entonces que a mí me digan que si respiro un aire se le van a quitar las alergias a Jerónimo, pues me es muy difícil de creer. Y que me digan que si tomo cierta agua se me va a quitar la gastritis, también me es muy difícil de creer. Pero la persona que me invitó a hacer el negocio, yo la considero una persona digna de tener confianza en ella. Así es que le dije, bueno, me voy a inscribir como distribuidor y voy a comprar uno de cada uno y los voy a probar. Si me funcionan y me convencen, entonces los voy a promover. Pero te digo desde ahorita que yo no soy una persona que le guste vender. A mí no me gustan las ventas porque me da pena. Puedo hacer muchas otras cosas, pero no me gusta vender. Entonces, así empecé. Empecé probando los productos, le puse el aire a Jerónimo que tenía alergias, a ver el sistema de sueño, yo tomando el agua, y en diferentes situaciones, diferentes productos. Y me fui dando cuenta que funcionaba, que yo ya no tenía que tomar medicinas para el aparato digestivo, que Jerónimo estaba mejor, y lo empecé a compartir con diferentes personas, pero no como una venta, sino como compartir una experiencia de algo que a mí me había funcionado. Y empecé a ver que mi negocio empezaba a crecer, empezaba a tener utilidad, y empecé a invitar a otras personas a que hicieran lo mismo que yo estaba haciendo, a inscribirse en el negocio y compartir con otras personas, y estas personas a otras personas. Y de repente me di cuenta que lo mismo que yo ganaba en utilidad, lo ganaba del volumen de la red que estaba yo creando. Y después empezó a ser un 60-40, un 70-30, y entonces me empecé a apasionar por el negocio. Empecé a ver las reales bondades del negocio y empecé a compartirlo con mucha más pasión de lo que lo compartía cuando empecé a hacerlo, porque me costó mucho trabajo cambiar el paradigma del mundo corporativo al mundo de las redes de mercadeo. Esto sucedió hace 4 años. Hace 4 años empecé aterrada de miedo. Tenía yo un muy buen trabajo, un muy buen sueldo, y empezar desde cero, cuando no tienes tu cheque cada 15 días, es muy difícil, sobre todo cuando tienes gastos que cubrir. Entonces, año con año yo veía que mi negocio crecía 100%, 150% el siguiente año, y yo dije, bueno, y si le pongo más ganas cada vez, ¿cómo va a ir creciendo esto? Y así ha sido, a través de 4 años. Durante esta trayectoria, ¿qué sucedió? Siempre me ha gustado juntarme con los mejores, siempre me ha gustado aprender de los mejores. Entonces ahí estoy como espía de, a ver qué me enseñas, ¿no? Veo quién es el mejor y quiero aprender de esa persona. Entonces primero empecé a aprender de los mejores en México, que son mujeres emprendedoras que empezaron sus negocios desde cero, con muchísimo entusiasmo para salir de una crisis económica muy fuerte. Estas mujeres han desarrollado el negocio más grande de Latinoamérica en esta empresa. Entonces aprendí de ellas todo lo que pude y lo empecé a replicar. Después me empecé a juntar con los canadienses, que eran los que tienen las mayores ganancias a nivel mundial. Entonces busqué a un señor que se llama Bob Canas y fue mi mentor para llegar hasta donde estoy ahorita. Y aprendí muchísimo de él. Cuando llegué al rango en el que estoy, decidí buscar al siguiente en línea ascendente. que es Michael D. Mucho. Entonces lo vi en una convención en Orlando y yo me dediqué a observar. Yo me dedico bastante a observar, observo. Y yo veía en todos sus comportamientos, en todas sus conferencias y en todo lo que hacía, que era exactamente la persona con la que continuaba mi trayectoria de aprendizaje. Entonces, le mandé un mail y me presenté, porque él no tenía ni la menor idea quién era yo. Y le dije, soy Verónica Ampudia, estoy en tu línea y me gustaría que fueras mi mentor para llegar al siguiente rango. Entonces empezó a ayudarme a ser mi mentor y en las primeras 2 sesiones le dije, ¿sabes qué? Tú tienes que venir a México. Porque esa forma como haces tú el negocio, esa forma como explicas tú el negocio es única. Y he tenido muchos mentores, pero nadie lo explica como tú lo explicas. Entonces, ¿qué tengo que hacer para que vengas a México? Para que platiques con nuestra gente y nos ayudes a romper estos paradigmas que a mí me costaron años en romper, que los rompas en hora y media. Y entonces me dijo, bueno, vamos a ver, a lo mejor, quizá, y así estuvimos. Hasta que dijo que sí. Finalmente el día llegó. Y a mí me da muchísimo gusto tenerlo aquí. Me gustaría presentarlo. Es un diamante real y embajador real de Nikken. Está en los mejores 10 lugares de la organización a nivel mundial. Nikken es una empresa con presencia en más de 30 países y tiene 40 años en el mercado. Y Mike empezó muy joven. Él iba a contar su historia, pero yo voy a contar un poquito. Empezó muy joven, empezó a los 29 años, un negocio propio, y vino a México y abrió México. Y es una persona que siempre está buscando la excelencia. Eso es lo que yo veo. A pesar de que tiene de los mejores exitosos y más fuertes del mundo, siempre está trabajando con la gente y siempre está buscando cuál es el siguiente paso para hacer las cosas mejor y para buscar la excelencia. Y eso es algo que yo aprecio y admiro muchísimo en cualquier ser humano. Entonces, realmente, además de ser diamante real y de ser embajador real, es una extraordinaria persona, es un extraordinario ser humano y tengo el privilegio de presentarlo en su visita a México. Hace 23 años no viene. Cuando en Nikken les dije, voy a tratar de que venga Mike, lo invité a México y todo el mundo, ja. Se reían muchísimo porque me dijeron, no viene, no va a venir, no viene hace 23 años. Y pues aquí está. Entonces les pido que por favor lo recibamos con un fuertísimo aplauso y que escuchemos lo que tienen que contar.
Buenas tardes. I say that because the first time I was here at the Hotel Nico in Polanca, my colleague who was here with me from Canada, Coupe Agamasia, who was my translator, she was teaching me all day what to say, how to start the meeting. And of course, all day long I'm saying, oh, buenos dias, buenos dias. And when it came to the evening to say buenas tardes, I said, buenos dias. And she laughed. It was embarrassed for me. So, buenas tardes a todos. Mi nombre es Mike Di Mucho. And that's about the extent of it. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. This is a really wonderful venue to host a meeting. I've always wanted to be on stage and on the screen, the silver screen. Not exactly this way. How many of you had fantasies of being a movie star or a singer? Sure. Well, actually, I almost got that chance. I was a graduate of aerospace engineering from the University of Toronto in 1986. But as I graduated, I landed a recording contract. So I was actually a singer, songwriter, and producer. And the record label that I was working with, we were in development for an album that was going to launch in London and in Toronto. We had 2 venues that were going to feature us. The band was called Cairo. I was the lead singer, and my brother, my now brother-in-law, was the keyboardist. We were kind of like the modern Hall & Oates of the time. Or you could say Wham, because it turns out that 3 months before we were going to go public, Wham went public. And then our record label collapsed, and that went, so did my career, so to speak. Anyway, what ended up happening next was I started doing what most people do, whatever came up, and started working as an electrician for a friend of mine. And that's kind of where my story begins, because something happened while I was working as an electrician. I didn't intend to be an electrician. I didn't intend to work as an electrician. Can everyone understand me okay?
Yes. Yes.
Great. I had big dreams. I had really big dreams. In fact, one of the TV shows that most influenced me growing up as a child was a show called Star Trek. Does anyone here know that show?
Yes.
I loved Star Trek. I was Captain Kirk. And so I always wanted to go where no one had gone before. And so I watched that show every day, sometimes 3 times a day. And it brought me into the mindset of somebody who could be an explorer, where the status quo was different, where the world that I lived in was different. In fact, in that world, everybody worked together. We belonged to one planet. You know, Earth was a planet, and you came from Earth. You didn't come from one country or another. We didn't distinguish ourselves that way in this world, because we were out there meeting other worlds, people from and species from other worlds. So I imagined that life. I imagined one day being in that situation. That's why I went into aerospace engineering, because that's the closest that I could come to realizing that vision. The other thing that really got me going, how many of you have heard of a show called Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous? Do you know that one? Yeah. Robin Leach was the host of Lifestyles of Rich and Famous. And of course, they would show people who were very successful, usually in the entertainment world, and they would feature their life and their lifestyle. And they always had an amazing lifestyle. I remember watching Julio Iglesias being interviewed one day, and he was sitting on a very luxurious sofa, and the big, big curtains blowing in the wind with the beautiful aquamarine water in the background in a swimming pool, and he was in his living room, but his living room was outside. I thought, where do you got to live like that? And I found out, Barbados. I moved to Barbados. And that's a true story. I did move to Barbados in 2000. Spent almost 14 years there. But anyways, that show influenced me, again, to think a certain way. I started being fascinated by the kind of lifestyle that was possible. See, I could never settle for being an electrician. I could never settle for an average life. That just wasn't for me. But there I was, doing exactly what everybody does. Got up, brushed my teeth, put my clothes on, went to work really early in the morning, fought traffic, not like Mexico traffic, but I fought traffic. Got to my job, or the job site, or the office where we got the crews together, went to work, did very physical work as an electrician. I pretty grubby and dirty, and you know, I learned how to swear and smoke cigarettes and do all the things that electricians do apparently. And that was the life I was living, yet that wasn't the life I imagined. And that went on until one day I was hit from behind in a car, rear-ended. And that was while I was in the van. I was in the passenger seat. And it didn't hurt at first, but after a few hours when the police were taking the report, I could feel my back start to get really, really painful. And then I realized I had a problem. I had to go to the hospital. They diagnosed it, and then began this whole story of me going to a chiropractor, a physiotherapist, and a massage therapist. Every other day I was in somebody's office. And this was always after work, because I had to work still to make a living. So, anybody here know anybody who's been in a car accident or suffered some type of injury and have to go through that? They say that there's an 80% chance that you'll have a back problem in your life. It's a really high probability. And so there was no solution for me. In fact, the pain was so bad at times that I would literally come home from work, lie on the carpet, and have one of my 2 younger brothers stand on my back and do this. Move around. And you know that feeling? It hurts, but it hurts good, in a way. So that was me. And I was 26 years old, 25, 26 years old, not living at all the kind of life I imagined for myself, at all. had an education, I had, the desire, but there I was, stuck, going nowhere. In fact, I worked 14-hour days, so it's pretty hard to come home and imagine doing anything else, having the energy to do anything else. And I worked 6 days, even sometimes 7 days a week. So what next? Well, fortunately for me, I got a phone call in the middle of a cold December night from a friend who was not a doctor, but he thought he had something that could help my back. Now what would you do? He's not a doctor, just a friend, and you've gone to physiotherapy, chiropractic care, massage therapy. The specialists, they want to put cortisone injections in my back, and I said, no way. And then a friend calls me up and says, hey, I think I found something that can help your back. It's from Japan. Why don't you come on over? How many of you would go? Well, you know what? When you have nothing to lose, you try anything. So I went. And what did he show me? He showed me a little thing about the size of a credit card. Told me it was a magnet. And I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. What I did know, as an aerospace engineer, is that a magnet is a field of energy. It's invisible, but it has power and potential. And if you put this magnet anywhere near something that has energy or electrons in motion, things like our body, it's going to have an effect. It's going to interact and have an effect. I knew that. So here he was telling me, put this magnet on my body. Thought, well, I've got nothing to lose, put it on my body. And he leans forward, and I'm sitting in the chair, and he says, so, how do you feel? Of course, I didn't feel anything for 2 seconds. But he said, well, let's watch this video that came with the product to learn a little bit more about it. And the name of the video was Humans Being More. Now, that to me was an incomplete sentence or an incomplete thought. Humans being more what? So he told me, well, it's a Japanese company, and this video is from Japan. I thought, okay, so maybe they lost something in translation. That's okay. So we start watching this video, and I learned what Humans Being More is all about. I learned what the company that developed this magnetic technology is all about. I learned the people who are involved with this and the success of this multinational, multi-billion-dollar Japanese company who was the leader in their field. Most Japanese companies are usually pretty good in what they do. And so my mind began to open up, to listen, because there might be something here for me. I don't believe in accidents. I don't believe you're here by accident. There's always a reason. And so I started listening very closely to what these people were talking about, and what I learned was that there was a very large opportunity associated with the introduction of this technology to the market, because it was not known. And it wasn't known in the Western world at all. And it was very popular in Japan. In fact, it was even popular in Russia, believe it or not. The Russians were using magnets. In fact, it was the Russians who taught the Americans that they have to recreate the Earth's magnetic field on board the spacecrafts, or they're not going to have astronauts. It was the Russians who taught the Americans that they need to create a magnetic field generator inside their space capsules. Because if you don't have that energy, your body will not function. That's how critical this energy is to the viability of life on Earth. And of course, the source of that energy for all of life is what? It's the Earth. And so, as I learned about this, I became more and more fascinated, and I started to believe maybe there's a possibility that there's something here for me. Took this product home, started reading the literature, and I shared it with my father, who was doing this. Okay, I'm going to bed. And my dad's an old school Italian. You can't mess with him. So I said to him, I want you to try something. I want you to put this on where it hurts. He says, it hurts right here. I said, okay, put it on there. He didn't know there was a business. He didn't know it was a magnet. He didn't see what I saw. He was my test. He was my guinea pig. I figured if it works on him, it'll work on everybody. And so, sure enough, 2 days later, I find out from my dad. He calls me from work and says, it's gone. I got scared because I thought he lost my magnet. Because actually it wasn't even mine. I borrowed it from the guy who introduced this to me. So I was like, what do you mean you lost it? He said, no, I didn't lose it. The pain is gone. And I'm like, really? The pain is gone? I got so excited. 2 hours later, he calls me back, says, can you get some more of these? I've got some friends at work that want to buy them. And I was so excited because all of a sudden I remembered something I saw on that video 2 nights earlier. There was a man who said, you can sell anything to anybody. They might like it. They might even tell somebody about it. But when you can take away someone's pain, they'll tell everybody about it. And my father was doing just that. So I knew. It was like the light bulb. Ding! This was going to be huge. It was already huge everywhere else in the Far East, but it was not known over here in the West. So I thought, you know what? What's the worst that can happen? I might make some money at this. I might have some fun. And you know what? I might even help some people. My first priority was, people need to know about this. Remember that Captain Kirk guy who wanted to explore a brave new world and make a difference? I thought that this was something that could make a difference. So I got started, and you'll hear more of my story tomorrow as I'm going to do a little bit of training and teaching on how to build a business. But I want to share with you the story of humans being more and get into some concepts that I think are very, very, very fundamental. Whether you get involved in this as a business, whether you are in business right now, or whether you are somebody who has a job, or somebody looking to transition. I think these concepts are very, very fundamental, not only for yourself, but maybe the people who you have influence over, like your children. How many of you have children? Well, it's important to get it right, right? It's important to give the next generation a leg up, a better chance. And so I think it's important to be a student and to be open-minded and remain open-minded, because the past is the past. We need to spring forward into the future because it's changing all the time. And so I want to talk about this thing called a purpose-driven life. This idea that our life has purpose and meaning. And it's not to make money. Although we need to make money, that's not our purpose. It's something that we do that helps us live our purpose. So what is our purpose? Let me get this thing to work. Okay, what do we see up there? Which world do you live in? Is your world the round one? Or is your world, this doesn't work very good. Is it the flat one or is it the round one? What world do you live in? Round? Are you sure? Are you absolutely positive? Because you know, if I would have asked you this question 500 years ago, say, what would you have said? It was flat. So, was it flat or was it round 500 years ago? It might as well have been flat. Because everybody lived as if it was flat. You know, parents would say to their children, don't swim out too far, I don't want you to fall off the edge. People did not plan trips around the world. The sailors in the room, you didn't sail around the world, did you? No. So we lived in a world that we believed was flat. Was it flat? No. We just believed it was flat, and so we lived as if it was flat. Then the world became round. All of a sudden, because the world became round, and we believed that it was round, people started to imagine other things. Like you could actually go around the world. Like you could put a satellite in space to orbit the world. We have telecommunications now because we believe in a round world. We would never have had that if we believed in a flat world. What I'm saying is the possibilities of our life are totally governed by what we believe is possible. And it doesn't even have to be true. A lot of the beliefs that we've been given over the years are false. It's only time reveals that it's false. So it's not so much what we believe to be the truth, or what is the truth, it's just what we believe to be true. So what about our beliefs? What if some of our beliefs are not right? And how we're living our life and the results that we're getting. Because if the results and the possibilities are governed by our beliefs, what would the results look like if we had it right? Let's talk about a simple thing, being happy. How many would like to be happy? Would you like your children to be happy? You always say, I don't care what you do in life, just I want you to be happy. Well, how many people are happy? We'll talk about that in a second. What about healthy? Who wants to be healthy? You know, if you've had near misses when it comes to health, or even if you just had a week off because you were ill, it's terrible. It's a lousy way to be. You know, and many of you need to be healthy. People are depending on you to stay healthy. So health is an important thing in terms of results. What about wealth? Is that something that you wanted in life?
Sure.
Did you ever imagine having wealth? Being wealthy? Anybody? Blink. Just blink if it's true for you, right? Yeah, happy, healthy, and wealthy. These are results that are worth going after. These are results worth pursuing. Yet, when we consider the statistics of our results, I have to question, what do we believe? What do we believe to be true about health if we're not very healthy? If the result of everything we're doing concerning health is resulting in us not having much health? Whereas in Japan, they're number one in health and longevity. So how's that possible? What do the Japanese believe to be true about health stuff that maybe we could learn from? How do they treat the issue of health? Do you think they go in there with surgery and drugs and, you know, do you think that they think doctors are magic or powerful? Or do you know a doctor in Japan only gets paid to keep you healthy? How bizarre. How unique. How interesting. Maybe we should think about that. Well, what about wealth? When we consider the percentage of people that are wealthy, only 1%, I would say our formula concerning money is a little messed up, because not a lot of people have wealth. It's so small a percentage. There's got to be something about money that we've learned that's a belief that's false, because not enough people have the kind of money that they think they should have or would have if those beliefs were better. If you look at the GDP for Mexico in terms of per capita, number 63, not really good. How about happiness? If 80% of the people who are fighting traffic tonight hate what they're doing, so they hate the traffic and they hate the fact that they went to work to do something they hate doing, and they imagine all that energy, that negative energy in your life. Very stressful. People, 54% end up in divorce. 25% of the population don't sleep. And 50% on a daily basis didn't get a good night's sleep. So that's the same people you're fighting in traffic with. 37% of the population fear. They're afraid they're going to lose their job. Yeah, the job they don't like. They're afraid they're going to lose it. What is wrong with us? We're not thinking right. Or maybe we're just not thinking at all. Now, I have to say, Mexico, not too bad. Number 14 in terms of your happiness quotient. That's pretty good according to the UN World Happiness Report. Can you believe they have a happiness report? So not bad. So somehow you guys are managing in terms of that. You sort of settled in with the chaos. The question here is, this concept of success, what we believe success is, what we believe success looks like, is it leading us to success? Is the pursuit, day in, day out, bringing us closer to where we want to end up and live the way that we want to live? And the answer is not, for many people, is it positive. For many, many people, it's not very positive. So what would make you happy? What would really, really, really make you happy? If we looked at your life through a collage, you saw that 5 at the beginning of the presentation. That's our high five symbol. I have a high five life. What does that mean? Let's look at the areas of our life that are important to us. Your body, because without this, you don't get to live life. You don't get to experience life. So the quality of your life is also determined by the quality of your health in all of these areas. What about your mind? Is it important to have a healthy mind? A healthy outlook on life? So how we see the world that we live in. Do you believe it's a good world, a positive world, a happy world? Do you think it's a bad world, a negative world? Is it stressful? If you think about how you think, that determines how you feel. How you feel determines how your body responds. It determines how people react to you. These things are all connected. Your family. Is it important to have good, healthy relationships? Is that important to you? So, what about your role in society? Do you like what you do? Do you feel like what you're doing is making a contribution? Is it what you want for you? Do you imagine more? What about finances? Well, I'll tell you what. If I went out on the streets of Mexico and I said, excuse me, sir, excuse me, ma'am, of these 5 areas, which one do you find is the one most causing you stress? Which one do you think would be number 1? You bet, finances. So if you are really going to talk about wellness and well-being, you have to address finances. You have to address the single biggest cause of stress. So the Nikken experience that I'm talking to you about tonight, it's about all of this. You can't leave one thing out, or you might be missing a very big thing. Come on in, please. Come on in, come on in. No, please, it's okay. You've interrupted me, so now sit down. That's okay. So, would you agree that you would be happier, if you had more health, more balance in these areas? Okay. Well, how is it that we didn't end up this way? Here's how it goes. We're born into a family. Let's call that a structure. That structure is a socioeconomic structure, that is a cultural structure, a religious structure, you name it. All the things that you were born into just for being born. Just because you were born. And when you're a young person, the one thing that you want to do is fit in, right? You want people to like you. You want people to love you. So you try and fit in. Fitting in means you have to accept the beliefs of others. You have to accept the way people are around you. What happened in my house when I was a young boy? If I picked up the fork with my left hand, my mother or my father would slap me in the hand, tell me to put my fork in my right hand, and eat with my right hand because the devil eats with the left hand. How did they come up with that one? Who taught them that? Why do they believe that's true? And why is it that I have to eat with my right hand? Why can't I eat with my left hand? I'm just as good with my left hand. Not anymore. But a kid doesn't know any better. So what made me me? What made you you? Have you ever heard the expression, the sins of the father are handed to the son? That's right in the Bible. That means what we believe to be true, we pass on to the next generation. And then they have that to carry with them going on in life as life keeps changing, as the world changes. The world is square. The world is flat. The world is, oh God, it's round? Are you serious? Well, we behave according to our beliefs, and according to our beliefs, we get the results that we get in our life that we already talked about. So are people going in the direction that they want to go? Most of the time, no. Most of the time, they're not. Because we have it backwards. We're starting with the way we started rather than imagining what we want and then working backwards. Instead of starting with our purpose in life and then saying, what vision is going to support that purpose? What results are in line with that purpose? What are the behaviors that align with those results? What are the beliefs that support those behaviors? For instance, just a simple for instance, if I smoke and I want to be healthy, there's something that just isn't jiving. That behavior is not connected to what I want as a desired outcome. But I'm doing it. Why? What's wrong that I'm doing something knowingly that's going to affect my health adversely if health is what I want? So you have to look at this a little bit more deep. So we start with the end in mind. The end in mind is really simple. What do you want? What will make you happy? I believe health and balance in these 5 pillars would definitely be a good start. That means we need a new definition for success. We have to stop chasing something that is going to elude us. Success is not somewhere. It's not a place in the future. It's not a destination. It's a direction. You're either moving toward it or you're moving away from it. The best definition I ever received as a young man was from my mentor, a man by the name of Bob Proctor. You would know him if you saw a movie called The Secret. He's a well-renowned publisher, author, personal development speaker, probably one of the best in the world. He got his information from a guy he studied with called Earl Nightingale, probably the guy who started the personal development movement. And Earl Nightingale said, The best definition of success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. That means, as long as I'm progressing towards something that is worthy of me, that I'm realizing it, that's success. But if I stop progressing, I'm not a success. And it doesn't matter how much money I have, how many wonderful toys I have. If I stop moving, I'm dead. Eventually that'll catch up with me too. So as long as we're moving in a direction that is fulfilling and worthy of us, that is the definition of success. Don't you think that's a great definition? What is worthy of you? What is a pursuit worthy of you? Worthy of your life. Because every minute you're trading your life for something, what are you trading it for that's worthy of it? The time you're trading. Would you agree that it's worthy, the pursuit of balance in those 5 pillars of health? That's a worthy pursuit. To improve the quality of my life and the lives of others through those 5 pillars is a worthy pursuit. Friends, I've been doing this for 23 years. I never imagined in a million years I would be doing this. That wasn't what I had in mind. But I fell in love with this message because it's the best one I've ever heard in all my 51 years. It's a message that's true to my soul. That as long as I'm in the pursuit of something worthy of my life, and what's worthy of my life is every one of those 5 pillars, then it's a good day. So if I'm moving in that direction today, I had a good day. I had a good day. I can look back on my life and say, I had a good day. If I'm eating the wrong foods for my body, I know I'm not on course, but I can correct that. So this is an amazing guidance system. It's like your GPS for life. It's an amazing way to look at life, and it's a great thing to teach our children. I ask my kids, I don't ask them what do they want to be when they grow up. I ask them how do they want to live when they grow up. It's a different question. It can be a number of things, but the way they want to live is most important. So, humans being more, that's our idea. Humans being more is about being more in alignment with our true purpose, with who we really want to be. Well, it has a beginning. If we start making some choices today, starting today, let's say this line right over here is today. Right here, right now, today. This is the moment in time we're capturing tonight. And beginning tonight, you're going to start moving in a direction. Now, you have 3 choices. You can keep going in the direction you're going in now. Every one of you is on a trajectory to get somewhere in life. Where your health is concerned, where your relationships are concerned, where your finances are concerned. We're all on a trajectory. If you keep going in the way you're going, are you going to get where you want to go? Are you living the life that you really want to live? That's one direction. Or it could go downhill from here. How many of you might be doing some things that you know are going to take you further down that hill? Well, you can change that. It takes a blink of an eye to change everything. Or we can start making some choices today that move us, really move us in the direction that we really want to be. And it doesn't take long for something magical to happen. They say about 27 months, 10,000 hours. So if you do something, a little thing, we're not talking about a big thing, a little thing, do a little thing long enough. It's like an airplane. Imagine you get on an airplane in Mexico City and the objective is to fly to Paris. But the compass is off by 1 degree. You don't know it. You're the pilot. You don't know it. You're flying the plane thinking you're flying to Paris, but you're off by 1 degree. Where do you think this plane's going to end up? Turkey or some God knows where, right? So it doesn't take much. It just takes a little bit of a course correction, and the trajectory over time could be profound. Well, that's how this compound effect works. It's about doing some smart things, little things, but good things, that when compounded with time, add up to big changes in your life. In any one of these areas. I made my first $1 million in 27 months. From nothing. I had nothing. I just started doing something different. Amazing. It's true. So, it's all about a balanced life. That's what we mean by those 5. It's a high-five life. This is about living a balanced life. It's about talking about it, sharing this information with people. So our why, and I have to read it behind me here, it's a little bit more legible. We believe that we live in a time where we can all live a truly purpose-based life. so that everyone can live true to his own self, be fulfilled, happy, successful, free, and healthy, with financial security to fuel one's preferred lifestyle. Do you know, for the first time in the history of man, I believe that's truly possible. There was a time when it wasn't possible, but technology and evolution has made it possible. Right now, people have more opportunity than they've ever had in the history of the human race, and they have access to that opportunity. Do you know, one of the interesting things as we're driving around Mexico, I'm looking at all these homes built up on the hillside, and I can't believe that they actually built these things. And I'm seeing the poverty and so forth. But the one thing I noticed too is a lot of satellite dishes on those houses. People have access. They have access to information like they've never had in the history of man. Information is no longer in the hands of a few people who can make all the decisions and make all the money and make all the power. Now information is in the hands of every human being. How many of you have a smartphone? In your hand is the entire knowledge of planet Earth. Unbelievable. We live in interesting times. Times where opportunity is really possible, and we believe that we can take advantage of that and give people really a shot at the kind of life that they want to live. They need some help in making some decisions, though. They need to think about what it is that they want, and they need some instruction on how to start moving in that direction. So how do we do that? We challenge them. We challenge their paradigms. We challenge their beliefs. For instance, I'll give you one. How many of you believe we have an excellent healthcare system in the Western world? Hey, I'm from Canada. We have social health. You know, they tell us we have one of the best healthcare systems in the world. I say, we do? Where? Canada, you have healthcare. I said, no, we have sick care. Show me healthcare. We call it healthcare, but it's not even healthcare. When do you go to the doctor? When you're sick. When you go to the hospital. When you're sick. When do they prescribe you medicine? When you're sick. So we have a sick care system. We don't have a health care system because the care of health is totally different than the care of illness. So why don't we call it what it is and start getting our facts straight? So that's one of the things that we teach people. What is really health? Not health care. People don't want health care. They want to be healthy. What about what we're doing? We create a community for personal development and focus on our health. We achieve more balance in life by using and recommending Nikken products and inviting others to join us. We offer powerful solutions. Is it possible that getting involved with a company that sells products can have this kind of profound effect on people? How can a product have that many layers of effect? I'll give you an example. Me. When I didn't have to deal with that back pain anymore, for a year and a half, that's what I had to deal with. Every single day my back had pain. It affected my mind, it affected my energy, it affected the choices I made. And then one day, with a magnet on my back, goodbye, pain. Do you think that changed my life? Do you think it opened up new possibilities? You bet. We have people in this room who couldn't play tennis, who can play tennis again. We have people who couldn't golf, who can golf again. We have people who had trouble walking, who can walk again. We have people who are on 20 medications, who are off all their medications. That's how a simple product can make a difference. But if it makes a difference in a human being's life, do you think it affects their family? Of course. And so there are many generations of effect that can happen here. The company that we're talking about, that we partnered with, is a company called Nikken. Born in Japan 40 years ago. Now think about this. What were you doing 40 years ago? I don't know, let's see, I was 11, so not much. Probably what he's doing, sleeping. But this company was inventing the future. This company was talking about wellness. This company was developing a way to approach the subject of well-being and give everybody a chance to experience it. While the Western world was studying disease, Nikken was studying wellness and health. And they discovered something really, really simple. Our body is actually designed to be in balance. Do you know that? Our body is actually designed to be in balance. Do you know if you have a high acidic diet, let's say you drink Coke. How many of you like Coke? Well, get ready for osteoporosis, my friends, because that's right down the corner for you. Coke is something that actually steals calcium from your bones. Why? Because it makes your body acidic, and your body cannot survive acid. So in order to neutralize the acid you just consumed, your body, with its own intelligence, says, we need to take some of the calcium from the bones and neutralize this acid. It then forms a crystal in your body. That's why you start to feel aches and pains. They're crystals, the buildup of acid in your body. Have you ever gone to a massage and the massage therapist says, drink lots of water? You might feel a little bit nauseous or something. It's because they're moving all that crystal back into solution to get that toxin out of your system. So that's what's happening. We're creating problems for our body, and our body has to try and balance itself. So we stress it, and it's trying to stay in balance. So we stress it some more, it's trying to stay in balance. And the entire time, your body is fighting to stay in balance because it's designed to. Why don't we just help it a little bit? How about we do something really simple? We do what it takes to stay healthy. We ensure good night's sleep. We drink plenty of good, clean, healthy water. We eat food that nourishes our body, not just fills our stomach. We subject our body to light, natural daylight, more often we can. Not the kind of stuff that we spend most of our days in. We breathe healthy, fresh air. Do you know that these things are things that would make you healthy? Do you know that? You know, I didn't have to go to school, medical school, or study science, medicine and so forth to tell you that. It's kind of common sense, isn't it? And that's exactly the subject of health. Health is the natural state of the body. Health is giving your body what your body needs. That's what it needs. So, Nikken is a company that's dedicated itself to producing technology that helps. Let's watch this.
Air, water, food, sunlight, sleep. We all need these life-giving elements. Nature provides them in abundance, and she shows us how to use them. We experience this life together, the discovery of who we are, and the journey of finding a truly purposeful life. Living fully empowered, day in and day out. We're always looking for those things that can make our life better. At Nikken, our life mission is to inspire people to discover a better way of life and to provide everyone the means to make a life that is their own. Nikken provides balance through imaginative technologies that are holistic and pure in nature, like our patented magnet technology and our natural materials. You will create a wellness home where you can thrive and prosper. The Nikken approach is about harmonizing the way life in nature is, where you can give back and receive. We all deserve to be happy, fulfilled, and financially secure. Together, we can imagine creating a better world through mind, body, family, society, and finances. A life in balance, just like nature intended.
I love that video. So what is vital to our health? They've just said it. All those things are simple and vital to our health. So Nikken is a company that's founded in technology. They've developed ways of bringing nature into our home to connect us, get us connected again to the natural energies of life. Things like magnetic technology that is in our sleep technology, natural light, air, water. Water's a big one. And food, nutritional food that's made from organic, whole foods, so that you're not eating garbage. You're giving your body what it needs. You can enjoy food, but your body needs what it needs. Give it what it needs and then enjoy the food that you like to enjoy. Get that right and you'll see your body become healthy again and stay healthy. We're all going to age. We're all aging. There's no question about it. But here's a question for you. How do you want to look 10 and 20 years from now? Do you want to look worse than you are now? Or do you want to look better than you are now? Or do you want to at least look the way you look now? So these are choices that you have to make. And you make them every single day when you choose what you're doing. I love the Nikken sleep system, for instance. Put it on your bed, and that's all you have to do. One time. Now every time I go to bed, there it is waiting for me to give me what it is that I need to help me get into that deep sleep to regenerate my body. You can learn more about this as you ask the people who've invited you to this presentation, learn more about what this company's done for people and how it's made a difference. But the idea is simple. Every day that we're doing something in the right direction leads us where we want to go. And taking a look at air, water, sleep, and so forth, these are simple things. This is not rocket science. You don't have to be an engineer to do this. You just simply incorporate some simple things into your life and get the benefit of a healthier life. I want to switch gears now and talk about healthy finances because it's such a big subject, such an important subject. There's a fellow that I really, really like listening to, and I know you would appreciate listening to him too. His name is Robert Kiyosaki. How many of you have heard of Robert Kiyosaki? He's a brilliant guy. He's an entrepreneur. He's made millions and millions of dollars. But what I like about him is he's teaching. He's teaching people what he's learned. He wrote the first book, which is the best-selling book in the business book section, New York Times list forever, called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He was actually raised by not two fathers. One was his biological father, who was an employee of the state of Hawaii. Very important man, very well employed. And he was raised by an entrepreneur, the friend of a father who was an entrepreneur, also very, very successful man, multi-millionaire. Now, Robert was subjected to information, flat world, round world, when it came to money. The father, his biological father, wanted Robert to study, get a good education. By the way, his father worked in the education institutes in Hawaii. So his father wanted him to get a good education so he could get a job, a good job, right? Isn't that what you want for your kids? You want them to go to school, get a good education so they can get a good job, right? Isn't that what you want for them? Isn't that what you told them? Well, his other father, the father of a friend of his, who's an entrepreneur, successful person, his idea of money was very different. He said money should never be something you work for. It should be something that works for you. So he learned completely different thoughts about the same concept of money. Now, it turns out that Robert Kiyosaki didn't do what his father suggested, his biological father. He did what Rich Dad suggested and started acting and doing the things that those beliefs would cause one to do. And in turn, became a multimillionaire. And he teaches this time and time again. But here's one of the things that I'd like to share with you that I learned from him, is how he makes money. So tell me, where are you? What's your financial plan going forward in life or where you've been? You're either an E, which is an employee, or you're an S, which is self-employed, or you're a B, which is a business builder, or an I, which is an investor. So obviously an employee is somebody who has a job and works for somebody else. Self-employed could be a doctor, a lawyer, somebody has a small business like, a grocery store, something like that, hair salon, something like that. B, a business builder, is somebody who actually builds businesses that run independently of them. Generally, they have 500 or more employees, so whether they show up to work or not doesn't really matter. The business keeps churning money. That's a business builder. And then investor, of course, is like the guys like Warren Buffett, who invest money in the stock market, into companies, and so forth, and they make money from money. Now, which of these are you? You don't have to say it, just think about this. Here are the statistics when it comes to money. 75% of the population are employees, 20% are self-employed, 4% are business builders, and only 1% make money from money. The top left-hand side, employees, know any of them? These are the ones who have no time and no money. Then you've got the self-employed. They got money, they got no time. Then you have the business builders, and they're the ones who have time and money. And then the last category are complete freedom, because you're making money for money. You don't have to do anything to do that. So that's how that breaks out. But here's the more scary one. Of all the money that's made in the world every day, 95% of the money is made by the people on this side. The people on this side, 5% of the population make 95% of the money. 95% of the population make 5% of the money. That is not right. That is such a disparity. That's what's causing a lot of problems and challenges for people. But there's a reason why that's happening. Because if you did what you were taught, what you were told, go to school, get a good education, so you can get a good job, or, oh, I want my son to be a doctor, or I want my son to be a lawyer, you're going to end up on this side. We have been taught and conditioned to be on this side. Our educational system is designed to get you in on this side. Where do you find an education to make this happen in your life? You are either born rich, or you are connected to rich people, because you will not get this education at any school. So people are spending a fortune to get an education, to learn how to have this life in terms of finances. I think it's crazy that we're teaching people how to become broke. I think it's crazy. What do you think? Because these people are constantly spinning their wheels. They don't ever experience the kind of freedom of life that happens over here. And all they needed to do was switch channels. Stop listening to this channel and start listening to this channel. But what is this channel? Where do you find this information? Well, there's a reason why you end up in this category. Because you were taught to feel secure. That's the most important thing. So we look for job security. We sell our freedom for security. Tell me something. Do you know anybody who has a job and feels secure? I've never met somebody who has a job and feels secure. Because jobs come and go. They get fired. They get downsized. They get pushed out. And so, think about it. You trade your freedom for security, and you end up feeling completely insecure. So the education that we're getting as a population is leading us to believe certain things that causes us to behave a certain way, and of course it's only natural you're going to produce the results of those beliefs. Meanwhile, over here, on the sailboat, enjoying life, are the people who never got that education. In fact, a lot of them are dropouts. Funny enough, they are in the pursuit of freedom. And what do they experience? Tremendous security, because they're not chasing security, they're chasing freedom. Freedom leads to security. It's an interesting thought, but this is the truth. So, essentially, the left-hand side earns a wage. They trade time for money. And guess what? There's only so many hours in the day that you have to trade. That's why you run out of time. And then you generally takes all the money that you're making to live the way you're currently living. So if you want to improve your life, you can't, because you don't have any more time to trade. That's a catch-22. You can't get ahead that way. Whereas on this side of the equation, they have learned how to leverage time. Time is their friend. They leverage time through the efforts of other people, and they create many streams of income. Passive streams of income, part-time streams of income. They can create businesses with their eyes closed. That's the difference between one side and the other. Now, I don't have a problem with people having a job. That's fine. If that gets the bills paid and so forth, that's fine. That's your plan A. But if you do not have a plan B, you're being foolish with your financial future. People need to have a plan B. That's what I've learned. Now, if you don't even have a plan A, well, we need to talk. So, what we're doing is we're helping people learn how to get from the left-hand side over to the right-hand side. And that requires time. It requires energy. It requires some skill. We're helping people do that through mentoring and coaching. But you need a vehicle. You still need a vehicle. You still need a bridge. You still need a way to cross from one place to the other. Most people need their job. They can't leave their job to go and build this financial future. So how do you do it? Those of you who are business owners, how do you do it? When it takes pretty much all the time you have to run your business. How would you do it if you had to? If you had to invent the solution, what would it look like? That a person could actually keep their job, earn their income, but begin a journey that allows them to build and compound time where they can start generating an income that could leave that one behind. It took me less than a month to leave my job. Less than a month. That's not normal, but I am not normal, as you probably already guessed. So, how do we do it? It's the power of leveraging time. Now, everybody has one thing in common, 24 hours. We don't all have the same money. We don't have all the same skills, but we all have the same 24 hours. It's how do we use those 24 hours? How do we put those 24 hours to work? So let's say I did something for 4 hours, and I taught 5 or 10 other people how to do the same thing. And in those 4 hours, they were able to generate an income for themselves. And I was able to generate a small percentage of that income for myself. Now, I'm not getting paid on 4 hours anymore. I'm getting paid on 4 hours plus their 4 hours. And what if we did the same thing, taught them how to do the same thing, give them an exact equal opportunity, because it's got to be an equal opportunity to be fair. And they do the same. Now, they're earning an income that they would not have earned otherwise. And I'm making a small percentage from that for teaching them and helping them do it. Now I can create an infinite supply of time and money. John Paul Getty is a billionaire, one of the first billionaires in North America. His famous quote was, "I'd rather earn 1% from the efforts of 100 people than 100% from the efforts of one." Because if something happens where I can't do what I got to do, the money stops. But if I've got 100 people doing something, the money doesn't stop. Which one is a better solution?
1% of 100.
1% of 100. And that's what the B quadrant people do. That's it. It's not magic, it's not rocket science, it's just an understanding. So now we have to find a way to actually put that to work. Well, in terms of money, some of you may know this one. If I gave you a penny today, and I promised you I was going to double it every single day. So tomorrow you have 2 cents, the day after you have 4, the day after you have 8, the day after you have 16, the day after you have 32, the day after you have 64, the day after you have $1.28. So after about a week, you have about $1.50, almost $2. Ooh, not much, right? So if I made that promise to you, or I'll give you $1 million right now, who would take the $1 million? Now, those of you who raise your hands, watch what happens. Day number 15, $163. Day 25, $167,000 just on day 25. On day number 30, I'm giving you a check for $5.3 million. Still think it was a good idea? Take the million? No way. This is the power of compounding. This is what most people don't understand if they're in the E quadrant. The E quadrant mentality is I work this much time, I get this much money. I work this much time, I get this much money. They don't understand that even if you made a little bit, just a little tiny bit, but it was given the chance to compound, it could become something great, incredibly significant, that would make that trading time for money pathetic. But they don't give themselves that chance because they haven't yet got the education. They haven't been taught this strategy. It's called the compound effect. It's the most important thing on the planet. I think it was Einstein who says it's the 8th wonder of the world, the compound effect. Think about this. As I'm driving here, because I'm being driven here, thank you, Ron. We're looking at all these wonderful buildings, and oh, that's a beautiful building. Bank of America, or Bank of this, or Bank of that, figures. It's a bank. Of course, it's a bank, right? The biggest and beautiful buildings are what? They're banks or they're insurance companies. Why? In every city around the world, where are they getting the money to build these buildings and put their name on it? Right there. It's the compound effect. They're compounding your money, making money. Well, what we all have is time. We're going to learn how to compound time and make money. compounding time. Again, this is a compensation model. You can ask the person who invited you here to go through that with you. The concept is so simple, it's scary. It's simple, it's effective, and it's fair. We live in an age where today you can have something shipped pretty much anywhere in the world. You could be a customer of, how many of you are a customer of Amazon? How many of you actually bought something off of online? I can't believe how people are buying online these days. It's like a fix. It's like almost like a drug. They have to do something online every day and buy something. But 10 years ago, people were afraid to buy online. They didn't trust the merchandise. They didn't trust they would get it. They didn't trust people with their credit card information. A guy made a fortune creating a company called PayPal. He's now making another fortune elsewhere. So, that's Elon Musk, by the way, if you didn't know that. Anyway, so go on with the idea that the world has changed. And now, the world of business is being impacted so profoundly. The retail environment is changing. How corporations are run is changing. They don't want any employees anymore. They want subcontracts. The entire world is changing fast, very, very fast. And if you're somebody who has a job and you think you got that for life, you better wake up and smell the coffee. Because it's changing so fast that you may be out of a job before you realized it and secured yourself. So this concept is just simply a result of the evolution of shipping and distribution and technology. For instance, there's this company called Nikken. They have warehouse and distribution centers in over 20 countries around the world. They have the most magnificent products. You can introduce somebody to these products in any one of those countries from your living room. But let's start with you. Let's say you say, okay, I want to touch these products, experience these products, and get to know them so I know whether or not I would put my name to it. I would put my reputation to it. I'm not going to talk about something I don't believe in. And I want to try it. I want to get some experience with it. So let's say you start using these products and holy cow, they're not kidding. I've got a pair of magnetic insoles in my shoes. I'll tell you something. If I didn't have a pair of magnetic insoles in my shoes, I'd be in that chair right now. There's no way I could be doing what I'm doing. Because of this back injury, if I don't have the support, magnetic support, I'm toast. So for me, I know how valuable this is for me. And if you haven't had a demonstration, ask the person who invited you here to do a mag step demonstration before you leave. I promise you, in 30 seconds, you'll go, get out of here. Get out of here. You are, no way. That's how impressive this is. Your body's difference in its energy on and off these insoles. I swear to you, try it. Don't believe me, try it. So now you say, okay, I gotta have these things. I want to tell my friends about them because this is too cool. This is so cool, people like cool. Don't you like cool? I like cool. I like new things, gadgets. Men love gadgets. I love these gadgets. Nikken gadgets are cool. So you start using these things, you start telling people, you can't help yourself. You're playing golf, your friend says, oh, what's gotten into you today? Like, what are you talking about? I've never seen you hit the ball so straight. Oh, yeah, well, you know, I've been wearing these insoles in my shoes the last couple of days, and it's really making a difference. And you think I'm kidding? PGA professionals. Okay? The senior PGA Tour guy, that's because these insoles in the back, the mag flex for his back. I personally got Wayne Gretzky on the Nikken products and extended his career 3 years. So do these things matter? You bet they do. And I don't care how old you are or how strong you think you are. You will get more out of this than you could ever imagine. So now you start telling people because you can't help yourself. You just can't. And they say, oh, how do I get some? Well, you can get some from Nikken. Here, you can order straight from the company. Here, use this PWP, whatever. We call it our personal web page. It's my PWP. Just go there and you can get it for yourself. And the company says, oh, great. We'll ship it to your customer for you. You don't have to carry an inventory. You don't have to do any of that. This customer can be in the United States. They could be in England. They could be wherever the heck they are. Amazing. And on the 15th day of the following month, Nikken says, gee, we got a sale over here and a sale over here, and we tie all that back to this person because they told somebody who 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 told somebody. Well, we're going to pay these people. When's the last time you made a recommendation for a restaurant? I want you to think about that. That you said, oh, you should go to this restaurant. It's a good restaurant. When's the last time you went to a movie told your friends all about the movie. You gotta see it. It's so funny. And they go and see it. Have the people who made that film sent you a check? Did the owner of the restaurant send you a check? No. Did Walmart send you a check for sending people? No. Well, that's what this model is. This company will send you a check because instead of spending millions of dollars on unwarranted advertising, they let people try the products, people talk about it, there's their advertising, boom, here's your check. Fabulous, simple, fair. Now, extrapolate that. One person becomes two. Two persons become four. Four persons become 8. This is the 21st century business. Because you can do it from your hand. Power of your cell phone. You can do all of this business from a cell phone. A lot of the business that I do today, which I'm in over 20 countries, many of which I've never even been to. By the way, I apologize for not being here for 23 years. It's stupid. I don't know why I didn't come back sooner. I won't take 23 years next time, okay? I promise. But it's an amazing experience, though, to have a business that's thriving in countries you haven't even been to because somebody knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. That's what's happened to me. I have business throughout Latin America, countries that I have never been to. Just because somebody told somebody who told somebody. That's the power of networking. That's the power of social networking. That's the power of technology. That's the power of communications. And more important, it's the power of people. It's the power of people. It's putting people at the front and center of the equation. That's the new economy. That's what's driving business online. That's why people are shopping online. And so we have a business model that's so incredible, the company can afford to pay millions of dollars. They've done billions and billions of dollars worldwide, over 40 million customers. This stuff works. So imagine, today, you say, okay, I need a plan B. Or I have somebody, a friend, that needs a plan B. The first person I introduced to this was a multimillionaire. He did not need a plan B. But he just loved this so much, he couldn't help himself. So he shared it with somebody who he believed did need a plan B. This was a single dad. He was raising 2 little boys, and he needed an opportunity. His name was Botanis. Most of you may know that name, those of you who are involved. He's your grandpa. So here's a guy who's made a fortune because somebody gave him a chance. So maybe you have a successful, thriving business. You're not looking for much. But you know people who look up to you. Who all you had to say was, you know, Frank, Joe, Mike, Hernando, I don't know if this is for you. Why don't you check it out? See if it's something that fits for you. Maybe it can help. That's maybe the only thing you do. And you change another human being's, not only their life, their future, their children's future. You know Botan's that guy? His son is Alex and Justin. Well, that Alex guy happens to be a drummer. Pretty good drummer, actually. How many of you heard about a band called Magic? Why you wanna be so rude? That song? That's the drummer. That's his son in that band. Do you think that opportunity would have been available to his son had he not grown up in the world that Botanis was able to provide him? Because he had a plan B. So, is there a possibility? There sure is. Am I the only person in Nikken? No. There's many millionaires. This stage isn't even big enough to hold the millionaires in North America that have been created out of Nikken. That's the Millionaires Club just in North America, which is essentially Canada and USA. Okay? And there's more still coming on stage. So if you ever had the idea that maybe one day you could be a millionaire, or you want to give that idea to somebody, this is a possibility. This is a real possibility. I encourage reading. I like studying. One of the books that I encourage is a book called The 4-Year Career. In this book, they tell us, it's a tell-all of the industry, sharing with us information and insights about network marketing and why it's a thriving and growing industry in this new economy, this new bubble of technology and social networking is creating multinational, multi-billion-dollar corporations. Can you imagine, I want you to imagine, you started your company in a garage. And some 20 or 30 years from now, this company is doing $12 billion a year in business. That happened. What made it possible? This new economy. Here's some pretty important guys. Paul Zane-Pilzer, he's a world-renowned economist. That's Robert Kiyosaki up there. And over there, on the left, Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, that billionaire, like the #2 income earner guy, that guy says network marketing, the best investment Berkshire Hathaway ever made. He owns 3 network marketing companies, his company. So for those of you who are wondering, is network marketing real, or is it just for Ma and Pa and the wives to do something on the side while they're, not cooking or cleaning? You got it wrong. There are more millionaires created in this industry than any other industry in the world. More women earn $100,000 per year in this industry than any industry. So if you ever had a chance at it, this is the only one that really removes the glass ceiling. Women out there. So this is real. Even presidents and prime ministers endorse it. That's how important. This is an emerging thing. And it's going to continue to get stronger. Speaking of billionaires, anyone recognize this picture? No? I'll give you a hint. Yes, Apple. It's Microsoft Corporation in 1978. And you see that little goofy guy there over there? That's Bill Gates. Now, when he came on the scene, if this guy approached you and said, hey, we're looking for investors, and you looked at this group of people and thought, yeah, right. Yeah, I'm going to invest in you. Sure, kid. Keep going. Good luck. Now thinking about it, thinking back, I had 2 people who turned him down, personally. Said, no way. You know how much they would be worth today if they would have said yes? Don't make a mistake. Don't make the mistake of judging how you heard about this. Maybe you heard about it from your friend, your neighbor, your daughter, your cousin, your uncle. The guy who introduced this to me is not even involved. You know how many millions of dollars he left behind for not even getting involved, just by introducing me and then never participating himself? Don't misjudge the opportunity by who's introducing it to you, because you don't understand the power of the opportunity if you haven't checked it out. Well, Bill Gates actually said, if I would be given a chance to start over again, I would choose network marketing. I think he knows a little bit about business, don't you? He's probably been introduced to a bunch of opportunities in his lifetime, and this is the one he thinks he would start over again with. I don't know, but if you're out there thinking about a plan B, maybe it's time to really consider a serious plan B. If you're out there looking for a plan A, this could be your plan A. So, as I said, every story has a beginning. So this is Richview Electric, the crew, in 1991. You recognize anybody in this picture? Yep, that's me. Those are the bands. One of those is what I had the collision in. So that's 1991. Then enter Nikken in my life. A year later, I win the contest to go and see Nikken's head office at that time in Fukuoka, Japan, for their World Convention in Japan. And I'm only one of 5 Canadians. Thousands of people, all Asian. And I'm so excited, flash cameras, boy, these people really like to take pictures. Especially gringos like me. So, we're in all kinds of pictures. But there's a few of us there, and that guy in the very back, over there in the top left, if you can see, this thing's not working very well. Right there, that's Bruce Black, the multi-millionaire. That's me. That's Bo Tanis. Some of you may know him. So we were 5 Canadians representing Canada for the future of Nikken, 1992. Well, a couple of years later, I'm on a cruise ship in San Diego, California, and this is the President's Club reception, the VIP reception for the President's Club of Nikken. Very formal, very, black tie and stuff. And I get to meet the founder of Nikken, probably for the 2nd or 3rd time, Mr. Isamu Masuda, who founded this company. Totally an amazing man. Probably the most amazing man I've ever met. He doesn't speak a word of English. But through his translator, Ria, right here, Ria Kendall, I'm interviewing him. What's really unique about this picture is I didn't know I had this picture until about 1.5 years ago. I was going through some boxes of pictures and saw this picture. And I couldn't believe I saw this picture this very moment somebody took this picture, and I have this moment, because I've told this story around the world. The story of when I met Mr. Masuda on this cruise, and I tell people this story all the time. So when I saw this picture, I couldn't believe it. I actually have the moment captured in time. What am I asking him? I'm making $20,000 a month. I'm a new diamond in Nikken. $20,000 a month. That's pretty good money for a kid. Not married, no children, no mortgage, making good money. But I'm not sure if this is for me. I'm still not sure if Nikken is where I belong. So if you have an identity crisis issue, trust me, I can relate. Because one foot is still thinking music, career music. The other one is in Nikken, doing really well. But really well compared to who? Compared to my imagination, compared to what I thought was possible. So I was really struggling. Is this where I belong? And I asked him a bunch of questions, but one question was the one question of all questions. I asked him, did he ever imagine being so successful, that this company would be so successful? Multi-billion, he's the private owner of a multi-billion-dollar multinational company. And Rhea speaks to him in Japanese. He pauses. Then he turns to her and answers. And it was a genuine pause. It was just a pause, and he reflected. And then he turns to her and he answers in Japanese. And then Rhea says, Mr. Masuda said, no, he wasn't. He just believed. He was just interested in his own health and thought others might be as well. That was his answer. Right then, I knew this guy was not the sharpest knife in the drawer. That's an expression for maybe he wasn't the smartest guy, but he was definitely connected. He was moved by something greater than money. And here he is with piles of money, and it still doesn't affect him. He still cares about people more than he cares about anything else. And his answer was so humble that I would never have expected that answer in a million years. And that's when I knew I could trust him, and I could trust the company that he built and what this was all about. That's when I really got into Nikken. And did I get into Nikken? That's me the next year in Japan with my Canadian crew. So things started hopping. That's my Nikken table at home. It seats 10 people who want to be millionaires, and I coach and mentor people online all the time. So we're coming down to the end of this presentation. You can breathe a sigh of relief because I know there's some wine and stuff like that outside. How are we doing for time, by the way? We're good? Good. So for the business savvy people in the room, if you know how to evaluate a business, you know that the ideal business has key components. Number one is the industry you're involved in. It's very important the industry you're involved in is going somewhere, that there's a high demand for what it is you've got to offer. It's growing, and there's some degree of proof of concept, that there's a real opportunity. With Nikken, hands down, the wellness industry is where it's at. And the online social networking industry is where it's at. And network marketing is where it's at when it comes to a plan B and sometimes a plan A. So there's certainly all the factors that are important when you're looking at it as a business. The company. It's important to know that the company you're partnering with is an innovator, that they're constantly innovating, they're stable, which is hard to do in a startup. They're stable, but they've got a global reach. They're operating with the expectation and the operations on a multinational level. Because today you can't be thinking, my house, my corner, my city. That's too small. You need to think bigger. How many of you have friends that live outside of Mexico City? How many of you know people who live outside of Mexico? Why shouldn't they know about this? Who's going to tell them? Are you going to wait for somebody else to tell them? Don't. Tell them yourself. So the company's got all the ingredients that we're looking for in a partner. What about the products? Well, whether you're in a products business or a service business, it's got to be something that's unique, or you're going to have a lot of competition, especially online. It's got to be something that has impact. People want impact. They don't want junk. They want something that has substance. Durables and consumables are good because durables create high volumes, but consumables create ongoing business, ongoing consumption. If you have both, you get big bang for your buck and an ongoing stream of residual income. Great idea. And obviously a product that's timely. How many of you would love to be in the video store business right now? I hope that would work. But, you know, it's interesting too that Blockbuster Video, they have video stores all throughout North America, huge video stores. Blockbuster Video turned down the opportunity to buy Netflix for pennies. And now, Blockbuster, goodbye, Netflix is the rage. Don't underestimate the power of technology and how fast things can change. You want to be plugged in somehow. Well, Nikken's got that down. And a business plan. Well, we want a business plan that gives us income that we can generate immediately, income that we can generate passively, because that's the key to freedom. Passive income. But income that we can generate actively, immediately is good, especially if you need a plan B and you need something in a hurry. Plus, a system that's proven. 40 years, Nikken has proven that it knows how to do business. 40 years, Nikken has been debt-free and operating globally, or at least internationally, I should say. Think about that. How many companies do you know have no debt that have grown for 40 years and operate internationally? That's almost impossible. They did it. And finally, a support system, meaning a business that you have for yourself and for your family, but that you're not in business only for yourself and by yourself. One of the things I do the most and enjoy the most is coaching and mentoring. I said that already. I have a mentoring team called Team Kaizen Roundtable. Veronica just joined my team. So I help coach and mentor people internationally. I do this through Skype. I do this through a tool called Zoom, where we meet regularly online. Doesn't matter where in the world I am. Doesn't matter where in the world they are. So working with people to develop and coach them to learn the things that I've learned, help them improve their skills and improve their business, to meet some of the people they're introducing me to. That's just one of the things I do. There's many people like me who are doing this. That's a proven system of coaching and mentoring. And lastly, for you, the biggest piece of the puzzle. This could be the ideal plan. It certainly is the ideal plan to create balance, if that's what you're interested in. So, imagine for a moment, your 5 pillars of health right now. This is day 1 of the rest of your life. What's it going to look like? So on a scale of 1 to 10, just go in your mind, in my body, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, I feel like I was 18 years old again, thoroughbred. Where are you at? On a scale of 1 to 10, where your mind is in terms of peace of mind, in terms of the kind of thoughts that you entertain that are positive and proactive, or are you negative and pessimistic? Scale of 1 to 10. 10 being, I am the most positive, proactive, learning, humble person I know. Over to family. On a scale of 1 to 10, how tight are your relationships with your immediate family? How good are how much time do you have to nourish those relationships with your family? Scale of 1 to 10. In society, knowing who you are and knowing what you're capable of, are you doing what you think is the most you can for the rest of the world? The people you care about outside of your family? On a scale of 1 to 10, are you really living your purpose? And then lastly, finances. 10 being, I got everything I need, I got everything I want, and I have enough for others. That's the best part of money. Is there ever enough if you're a giver? You know, one of the things I heard somebody say in my Nikken career, they said, you know, every dollar you earn with Nikken is because somebody is using these products and feeling better. So technically speaking, you have an obligation to become very wealthy, because you're just helping more and more people. So this is a really nice way to make a decent income, because you know that it's because people are being helped. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you going? We have a plan. We have that compensation plan that I talked about. And every time we move in that compensation plan, it's just a growing experience in those 5 pillars. And so when you meet some of the leaders in Nikken, you'll find that these people are very well educated. They're people who really understand the human condition. And they're people who, above all, care about people. The most successful people in Nikken are the ones who care the most about people. So if you're that kind of person, we have the opportunity of a lifetime for you. So we're at that moment of choice. Here it is, day 1. If I keep going in the direction I'm going to end up getting where I'm going. Or do I want something else? Do I want something better? It's time to make a decision. And I think it's time for what? Bring you back up?
Yes.
Okay. I want to first of all thank Veronica because she asked me to come. And I know I've been asked before, but for whatever reason, the timing, the conditions, the situation was good. And so I said yes. And so I have her to thank, you have her to thank. So thank you for making this happen. And all these, she's organized 3 events in 2 days. This is the 2nd event. We have 1 more tomorrow. And she's done that inside of 2 months, and I think that's incredible. So thank you very, very much for doing this.
Thank you, Mike. It's a dream come true to have him here. As you can see, I don't know what you think, but his way of seeing business is so different from what we're used to. ¿No, Mike? Les quiero dar las gracias por estar aquí. Espero que les haya gustado. Es una forma totalmente diferente de ver el mundo de los negocios. Y yo la verdad estoy muy contenta de estar desarrollando este negocio. Quisiera darle las gracias a mi equipo. Sin ellas y sin ellos, la verdad es que mi negocio no sería nada, porque en este negocio trabajamos en equipo. Solo puedes vender y tener una utilidad, pero lo que hace realmente tu negocio es la gente que trabaja en la organización. Me gustaría que por favor se pongan de pie las que pertenecen al grupo de Diamantes Reales, para que les demos un aplauso, porque la verdad es que sin ellas esto no sería absolutamente nada. No nada más son mis socias, sino son mis amigas. A unas ni siquiera las conocía y la vida me las puso enfrente. Y he encontrado, además de socias, extraordinarios seres humanos y extraordinarias amigas que han compartido conmigo este crecimiento, no nada más personal, sino profesional. Cambiar el switch del mundo corporativo a esta forma de trabajar no es fácil. Y sobre todo para un personaje como yo, que es analítico, escéptico, disciplinado, malhumorado, exigente, no es fácil. Aquí también está Paulina Villela, que me gustaría que se parara, por favor, y le diéramos un aplauso. Es la persona que a mí me invitó a hacer el negocio. Y me voy a estar eternamente agradecida porque me ha tenido la paciencia de un santo. Paulina y yo tenemos personalidades muy diferentes y cada vez que a mí me entra la furia, Paulina me centra. Y para mí eso es muy importante. ¿Y por qué les platico esto? Quizá van a decir, bueno, esto no tiene nada que ver con ganar dinero. Pues tiene mucho que ver con ganar dinero, porque nosotros el negocio lo hacemos a través de ayudar a otros. Y no nada más ayudamos a otros a tener recursos económicos en las bolsas y mejorar los entornos financieros de los hogares, sino ayudamos a las personas entre nosotros a ser mejores seres humanos cada día. Entonces les agradezco muchísimo que estén aquí. Para nosotros este evento era un reto mayúsculo porque que nos escuchen los hombres latinoamericanos es todo un reto. Les agradezco sobre todo a los hombres que están en esta sala desde los 11 años hasta la edad que sea, que estén aquí. Gracias a mis 3 hijos que están aquí. Gracias a Juan Carlos y a José Ángel y a Aris, especialmente me da muchísimo gusto que estén aquí. Y a mi mamá, que me insistió muchísimo que yo no estaba diseñada para el mundo corporativo y que por favor encontrar una manera de tener libertad con dinero. Gracias, ma. Y gracias a todos.